Roger Rowlett was on early this morning. Bless his soul for getting up early to bring you the early games. And now we're down to the finals.
Yeah, a little blurry-eyed, but I've had my coffee and pleased to be here to do these finals. We have 6 final events, 4 medal event games. Medal event games are on sheets 2 through 5, and of course we'll be bringing you the championship game here on sheet 3. And that's going to feature marvelous Jim Margulis of Albany. Played a great game last night in one of the semifinals.
Yes, he did.
And against Michael Parker of Nutmeg. And Michael Parker will actually be here again next week for the USA Curling College Championship, and he was here the week before at our Utica Curling Club College Bonspiel as well.
Getting to be a hometown boy is Mike Parker.
He's getting to know the ice is what's happening. So
it's a big deal.
So our procession is about to get underway. We'll turn on the interior webcam. You'll get a little shot of the video casting booth as the group goes by, and then we'll swing the cameras around so you can see the parade of curlers onto the sheets.
And as always, feel free to let us know how the video and audio. I was on a little while earlier. It looked real good to me, but let us know how it looks and sounds to you out there so we can make adjustments if at all possible. Shout out to our wonderful ice crew that's kept the curlers curling on really, really great ice all weekend, and bar staff and food staff. Utica Curling Club has a notorious history of feeding people very, very well, and we thank them all. And certainly to Doug Smith, who's put on the event. And here we go.
If you're a curler, you never get tired of this.
Absolutely.
Marching out on Sunday, Scotland the Brave. You get the taste of Sunday out there, which is a little drambuie before your game.
Again, that is Utica Curling Club member Tim Crofton, our resident piper. What a pleasure to have a piper in the club. And Mike DeMeo, also a resident Utica Club curler, will provide his trumpet for the national anthem. For those of us who love this game, there's nothing better than this right here, Roger.
You bet. "39 teams started, only 12 made today here in this championship final."
As always, brilliantly done. The national anthem via the trumpet with Mike DeMeo. And now a ceremonial shot of Drambuie. Doesn't have to be Drambuie. Can be apple juice for those who do not want Drambuie. Most of us take the Drambuie.
Yep, we always call this the taste of Sunday. It's Pavlovian. Now forever associated the taste of Drambuie with being in the finals.
Yeah, big deal for Doug Smith here, too. First time running a Bonspiel, and he's done a great job.
It's been a fantastic event.
Yes, truly. Doug Smith handing the ice over to the curlers. Shots have been downed, and we are ready to go. Yeah. Oh, and we have an early mishap here. The vice for Nutmeg Curling Club, Lawrence Bocari, slid into third base, and looks like he's okay.
I think he was out, but he did get up, yeah.
Wow. Glad he didn't blow a hack out, too.
Yeah.
That would have been tough. And he looks like he's okay.
All smiles.
All smiles, and no substitute for youth there either. All right, folks, sit back and prepare to enjoy the curling action here. Finals of the Francis Dykes. MJ. Was that Puerto Rican 151 rum?
All right.
We are ready to go here, folks. Roger, would you like to give the rundown of announce the teams? Or
We can do. So, Albany skipped by marvelous Jim Margulis. Third, Chip Helm. Second, Tycho Spadaro. And lead, Dave Watrous. Nutmeg is skipped by Michael Parker. His third is Lawrence Bocari. And second, Brian Tully. And lead, Eric Sebastian. And we saw these teams curl last night. And that really exciting final against Eric Crumma in 1D final. And we saw the Margulis team in our feature game. Jim Margulis had absolutely phenomenal draw weight last night.
Yes, he did.
And I think that's the strength of their team, is throwing those draws. I think Michael Parker's team likes to hit, and their third blew up an end against Eric Crumma last night to save their bacon in that last end, allowing them to steal their way.
And their lead, final. Eric Sebastian, informed me that they were throwing a double run back tap up on that shot that Mike Parker connected on.
Yep.
We weren't sure if they were trying to draw around or run the tap double raise. And Nutmeg Curling Club is going to throw first here in the first end. Great job. And game's underway here, folks. Good looking early shot here from Eric Sebastian. Ice always starts off a little stiff in a curling game, but he pretty much covered the center line. 6 or 7 feet over the hog line. And now Dave Watrous from the Albany Curling Club will throw his first stone. And a little light there. Take a few shots for the curlers to figure out how stiff the ice is at the onset of the game. And Eric Sebastian now with his second shot of the first end. And that one's going to go right to the tee line. And a little bit behind. Now Jim Margulis will ask Dave Watrous with his second rock to come around and remove this stone.
Yeah, just tap it back and roll inside. Just a little too much weight with that shot. Didn't catch any curl.
Now Brian Tully with his first rock of the first end.
Looking to drop another one around the guard, but this one over curled. Does spill a yellow stone in front of shot rock. Albany will get rid of that yellow guard.
I don't know if I like with a hammer totally getting rid of this rock. I think I like to try and push it up onto the rings. Even if if you hit it wide and push it behind the blue ones or push it somewhere on the rings, probably with a hammer is not a bad shot as opposed to just peeling it. But
well, the main thing is you got to make sure you get it out of the way.
Right.
You don't want to leave your shooter out front.
It's going to over curl on him.
And he left the shooter out front, and that's not ideal. Did leave a stone on the rings, though. That may come into play later. Just a reminder to our viewers, the finals of the Francis Dykes Bonspiel are 10-in games. So players will have to adjust to a little bit longer game. And there's a nice come around.
Beautiful
to
shot.
lie two.
Yep.
And that yellow guard has got to go now.
Yes, it does. Nice weight there from Brian Tully. Well thrown. Good shot.
Don't know about you, Dave. I love playing these 10-in finals. We do that in our men's championship, and of course, in events like this, I've been in a few 10-in finals. The pace of the game is a lot different in 10.
Indeed. Sometimes you have to remind yourself that, in fact, you're involved in a 10-in game. If the score changes and fluctuates mid-game, you have a little more time to get off the schneid if you need to.
And if you get down 2 or 3 early, there's lots of time.
Tycho Spadaro here with his second rock, trying to open up the front. Looks like he's going to achieve it this time.
And a little bit better job of opening up things.
Yep. And now Lawrence Bocari, whom we checked with before the start of the game to make sure we had the pronunciation of his name correct. As we were, I don't know what we were referring to him as yesterday, but we've corrected that, and all apologies to him. No hammer. I got to believe that he's going to cover these rocks up. with a guard.
Yeah, two nice steel rocks in play here. Looks like the ice speed is up to snuff early.
Yeah, they've thrown a lot of rocks over in this path too. This is going to come right to the rock, to the shots.
That'll give a chance for Albany to, well, they can either hit and roll or they can just draw right down to the pile or in front of it.
Yeah, it'd be pretty hard to whistle one through that port between the two blue rocks. So hitting something blue here is going to be a good out here for Jim Margulis and Team Albany. Early in a little trouble here. Chip Helm with his first vice stone of the first end. My. Got rid of one of them, a little undecided whether we should sweep hard for a tick off the outside one or let it come up a little bit to get both of those stones on the 4-foot. And he got one and lost his shooter. So Nutmeg is still sitting 2. No hammer, last vice stone. Lawrence Bocari. Again, being asked to throw a guard here. And that's a sufficient guard there for Lawrence. And a good shot. Jim Margulis will now ask Chip Helm to come around that guard stone and try and make a thin hit on the second rock and quite possibly roll in for shot. If he hits it right, he might get them both. A little damage control early for Team Albany. And Chip Helm now. Looks like it's going to chip the top guard out of the way. Opened it up. Not a bad miss there. But again, this is turning into a guard game in the first end here for Team Nutmeg. And Mike Parker's got to be happy with what he's seen thus far.
That's sitting 2 here in the first end. Chance to guard shot rock. Set up a steal of at least 1. Could come around. Apply a lot of pressure.
Could, yeah, and go to the top of the 4-foot, huh? Top of the button.
Top 4, top 8. Sit 3. And that would make it very difficult for Albany to score this end.
Real good shot here from Mike.
Came a little deeper than I think he wanted.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to go quite that deep.
That'll give Albany an out. May not be able to get shot here, but I think you can cut the other team down. Cut Nutmeg down to 1 here with a good draw.
Yeah, we're going to test Jim Margulis's draw weight early here. He had really great draw weight last night.
Absolutely fearless last night with his draws. He didn't hesitate, put the broom down for the draw.
Yep. Looks like he's going to have to do that again here early today.
10 in game, just don't want to let things get away from you here.
Yeah, you hate to drop a big end
in the first end.
Onset.
That looks like an awful lot of weight. Is he throwing a hit maybe and hit and roll?
I think he's throwing a hit and roll. Got to come up though. Not going to cap it. He's going to take the one rock out.
We'll remove a stone. I think Michael Parker can just drop another one right there on the top 4. And I think that's going to be a steal of 3. I think I would have definitely thrown a draw there. I'm throwing 2 draws if I'm a skip.
Sure. Jim still has his last rock, but things looking good here early for Mike Parker.
And if he can sink another one around the center guard, that would make life very tough.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do to get him out of there. Top 4, half covering up shot rock would be perfect.
Thrown the shot already. It's worth being aggressive on this shot.
And if it's over, it's going to be a really, really good guard.
It's not going to make the rings.
Which is a break for Jim Margulis.
Yes, I think you could have stolen 3 there with a nice, with a perfect throw.
Yep.
Well, it doesn't leave much.
No, and he aired on the pro side miss too, which
right.
was a good thinking there by Mike Parker.
You know, you don't want to come in there and bounce off and leave a pocket. There is a draw path on the right-hand side.
Hi, Bill. Yep. I'm thinking Jim Margulis might take a look with his out turn here and try and come through that port. He actually might be able to get out of the end here with getting his 1 if he comes through that port with the right kind of weight.
Yep. I think he's looking at running the blue in to see if he can spill some stones. Not sure. This looks more like a draw. I think the draw tap is there.
Sure. I do too.
No one knows the ice over here yet. Haven't played it yet.
Well, you don't want to do is hang out there and tap the blue one up for another score.
You want to make sure you get some curl. The amount of ice he's taking, I've got a feeling it should get to the inside of that blue rock.
I agree. It throws kind of like through the house kind of weight in the stiff ice.
Not even that. You just need
stiff ice though. Nope.
Yeah, and that was unknown ice over there. That hadn't been down that.
Yeah, that's
side.
why I was thinking if you threw hack weight on that scuffy ice over there, it might have done the right thing. But so a steal of 2 for Nutmeg Curling Club in the first end, and we will move on to the second. Retired skip. So far, that seems to have done the trick. Buffering stop. Great. Lawrence is Skinny Larry in Nutmeg Land. Okay. I don't know if he'd appreciate if we call him that. Maybe his close friends call him that. Skinny Larry. All right.
Well, after one end of play, Nutmeg steals 2. They lead 2-0. Albany playing the Yellow Rocks will have the hammer here in the second end.
Brian Walker listening out there, let us know if that's okay to refer to him as Skinny Larry, if that's something that's inside name, or if he likes that kind of name, we're okay with that.
Well, one of our listeners says he likes it a lot better than Fat Larry. He would not resemble Fat Larry in any way.
No way, shape, or form.
He looks pretty fit to me.
Maybe PHAT.
Just a reminder to our viewers, these are 10-end finals. Sheets 1 and 6, which are non-medal ENF events, they'll be hanging 2 ends, so they're not playing really fast, but they've hung 2 ends, and so they're officially in their third end after their first end of play. If that makes any sense to you?
Eric Sebastian now with his second rock. Nutmeg with a steal of 2 in the first end. Players struggling a little bit with weight here early, Roger. I don't know if the ice is just genuinely that stiff and slow or just taking its Sunday morning after a long weekend of curling.
I don't know. It looked like it was pretty fast on
I thought so too.
The left side of the shoes. You look back at the scoreboard in the first end. But they're coming around this other side here in the second end.
Yeah,
so
the curlers could be getting a little tuckered out here. Got to suck it up for the championship game. Dave Watrous with his second stone now. Weight looks like he's adjusted well to it. This looks real good right now. And that's a great looking shot from Dave Watrous, the lead of Albany. He's going to put this right on the top of the button. And then some, right on the pin.
Over buried, actually, yep.
Yep.
Plenty of curl on that side of the sheet. Of course, we know that sheet 3.
Danger curling
this is
rocks.
The danger curling rock side.
So now Brian Tully takes over as the second here. Into second stones here in the second end. They're not going to get this one by. Quite possibly might put the yellow rock on the rings way out. Not quite. But it opened it up for new beginning here for Jim Margulis. Looking for a little biter out in front of his shot rock. And this would be Tycho Spadaro. Throwing yellow rocks here for Albany. The sweepers are on this like it's a light stone. It does look like it's going to come up a little short, but actually if they get by, I think they're going to get on the rings if it gets by the guard. And it is going to get on the rings. This is a good shot. They let it stay right there. Don't bring it in too deep. Nice shot there from Tycho.
Sucked another one around.
Now Brian Tully's second rock here. Mike Parker, the skip, has asked him to kind of draw right down to shot rock here.
Yeah, Albany's second rock in the rings there, overcurled just a hair. It does leave a sliver of path there for Nutmeg to freeze. This looks like it's through the rings weight.
It is definitely through. It's more like hack weight. And it's going to go right on by.
Not even going to contact.
Wow. Kind of hack weight, hack to board. Now the door is wide open for Albany to put a big end together here.
You can go top 12 here if you want.
Sure.
Cut off that draw path and sit 3.
Tycho Spadaro with his second rock.
Can just keep piling them above that high center guard. So
Tycho Spadaro with his second rock here. Just a little biter, I think, is all you want here, Roger. Just, it looks like it's going to come deep, though. They're going to pile another one in here.
Got to sit. Don't want to bounce here. That would have.
Oh, boy.
That was not where you wanted to be.
Nope.
Lighter was the pro side miss there. Now a chance for a double to get rid of 2 rocks for Nutmeg.
Lawrence Bocari with his first stone. Skinny Larry, as his friends call him, in Nutmeg Land. With a chance to change the complexion of this end.
He's hanging out just a bit.
I think he's got the double, though.
He'll get a double. Yeah, it won't roll
not
far
quite.
enough. Jammed it.
Not quite.
All right, so Albany can come around again, top 4.
Yeah, they had to come up just a little bit more, huh, Raj?
Just a little more.
Yeah. Now Jim Margulis will opt to. Yep.
I think that's a little conservative. I just come right around top 12, top 4. Just outcount that stone on the side. You've got that high center guard.
Yep, I agree.
And when I have a hammer and I'm looking at one of those high center guards, I think that's a huge advantage for the team with a hammer. You can stack so many rocks behind that.
You almost have to make pretend it's not there.
Right. And the trouble is that the non-hammer team is reluctant to move it, and it's hard to throw a heavyweight hit around that guard.
Correct.
So if you dump a bunch of rocks high above the tee line behind that high guard, you can keep stacking them all day long. You can set up a huge end.
So Chip Helm with his second rock here in the second end.
And he's not heavy.
No, it doesn't look like this is going to make the rings. And this is going to open up the door for Lawrence Bocari to draw here. Precisely why you called that shot the way that you did.
Exactly.
If that shot was executed the way that you had said it should have been, there would be no room for the draw here now. Nutmeg has an out to kind of steal the end here.
Yep, they can sink one here, and they can actually set up a steal.
Skinny Larry with a chance to change the complexion of this end. Looks a little toasty to me, but I could be wrong. Pretty good shot's going to be just out of the back, and in fact did not outcount either one of the Albany stones. So was hoping that Jim Margulis might take that as a reason to come to the top of the 4 foot and sit 1, 2, 3. But he's opting to throw a guard here. One broom too heavy there.
Got to go around top 8, top 4 here. Cut off that draw path and sit 3.
Yeah, you want to, absolutely.
Yes. Yes. Yep. Go.
He's got some weight. Need to wait for this.
This is actually going to work out better for him than the shot that he called, I believe.
Well, if it doesn't go behind tee line, it will. It needs to sit.
Oh, sit, boo-boo. No, it's actually going to come deep.
It's going to come right to the back 4.
Unfortunate there. Once again, he's leaving Mike Parker an out here. It's funny, a shot like this can change the end of a curling game.
Yep, rock positioning is just key in curling. Is you need to keep your rocks above tee line. And
if he sticks one on the button here, I'm not sure what Jim's going to be able to do.
Now this one looks like it's a little hot.
And wide.
Rocks will curl here, but
this rock is going, he might chip himself out of the back here.
It's going right through.
Going to chip his own out.
Right,
wow.
Jim Margulis with a marvelous opportunity here. He needs to drop one top 8. Cover this draw path.
Unfortunate miss there for Mike Parker. Door was really open for him to steal the end, or at least stick one on the button. He could have froze.
Certainly had a chance to get an out. There might be room for 2, depending on the angle of the freeze.
Now,
but,
do you go for the jug here if you're Jim and try to go top 4 or in full in the white circle?
Well, I go
Why
top,
not?
I'd go top 8 here.
Why not?
And cut off the draw path.
I'll count this blue rock in the back.
Absolutely. And there won't be much of an out for Michael if you do
He's
that.
way out here.
He's actually throwing a guard, but it
Yeah.
looks like it's heavy. We do know the rocks curl here.
Big time.
Coming down. He
Looks
got
like it's
out
losing the handle.
got into the fresh stuff, and it's just going to bite. So
I don't know that the draw is. The draw still could be there. Tough, though.
the problem with throwing that guard is it makes it hard for you to score your fourth. Where does he score his fourth?
He's going to have to tap up the yellow rock on the outside on the other side.
He has to go really wide.
Yeah. I think the draw's still there. He could certainly cut him down here, right?
Well, Michael's going to at least remove a rock here so he
Makes
doesn't
sense.
give up any more.
Sure. Good choice.
Yeah, you got to cut your losses here.
Yep, that's a good call here by Mike Parker.
It's going to be hard to get even second shot here, but you got to eliminate a yellow rock if you can see it. Last rock of the second end for Michael Parker. He's going to get caught in the curl here.
Yeah, he's not by. He's not by the guard. He might get a double the hard way, though. He might get a double the hard way.
Yeah, just sails it
did.
through. Well, he did
1
move
and
a
2.
rock.
He did move a
He
rock.
moved a rock. But this will be a draw for 3 for Jim Margulis. He's got a nice port to come through now.
Yep.
He just played this shot, so he knows the line.
Oh, and he's, my goodness, as much as he was drawing last night, he had a great draw game last night. I don't know if he's trusting his draw. I thought he was going to go after this blue rock and not trust his draw weight. But he's got to roll it, a couple feet to outcount the blue one, right? Got to draw through this port here, I would think. Yeah. Okay. Had me worried there for a minute, as well as he drew last night.
Yep.
Made me think that maybe he wasn't trusting his draw weight.
I think he's going after the rock in the back.
He is.
He's playing a tap on the rock in the back.
This would be for 4 if he can get there.
4. And there is enough curl. There is absolutely enough curl around that high
Yeah,
yellow
because if you
guard.
were just trying to throw a draw with this ice, there's no way you're getting around the guards.
Oh, no, he'd have to be out on the edge of the 12-foot, right?
Yeah.
So he's throwing a back rings weight here. The idea is to tap out that rock on the back 12.
Hammerstone, second end. Nutmeg up 2-0. Albany with a chance to get right back in the game here.
Too much weight.
Yeah, looks like too hot. Left it out
Here
there
it comes,
a
though.
little bit.
Watch this rock move. Watch this rock move. Watch
Nope,
this rock.
it's going right by it.
Just threw
Oh,
too much.
just missed it.
Just threw too
Good try, a
much.
little too heavy.
2-2 after 2. Good try. Risk
Real good
reward.
try.
Risk reward. Nutmeg playing the blue
Even with
rocks.
that weight, it was coming.
Oh, yeah.
It was coming, even
And
with that kind of weight.
That was more than he needed. That was
Right.
probably board weight. He just
I think
needed,
so. Yeah,
needed,
board and a little bounce back maybe,
yeah,
huh?
he needed hack to through the rings weight would have been
Yep.
enough to score the
Sure.
4.
Even chipping it out, he would have got 3, right?
Right. Good try, though. Risk reward shot.
Yep. Nutmeg Curling Club dodged a little bit of a bullet there.
Yep, they were looking at a pretty bad end there for the longest time. So Nutmeg will have the blue rocks and the hammer here in the third end. 2-2 game.
Dave Watrous looks like his first rock's going to go right to the 4-foot circle. And then some. Back 8. Now Eric Sebastian, the lead for Nutmeg, being asked to throw a rock on the rings out to the outside wing. Good looking shot coming here. Well executed. Dave Watkins will now attempt to throw guard. Right in front of his yellow stone in the back 8 would be a good spot for it. And sweepers think it's got enough weight there. This one's also going in, I believe. And just got into the 12-foot. Of course, free guard zone does not count as long as if you're on the rings. So Mike Parker will attempt to take out here with Eric Sebastian's second stone. Could get them both and sit 1-2. And he might have it. Nope, just came up a little bit on him. Did get rid of the shot, get rid of the top guard though.
Rolled out of play.
Yep.
And rolled out of the rings anyway.
Tycho Spadaro now. Being asked to freeze on this shot rock that Blue has on the right side here.
And this is where the Albany team takes a little bit of extra risk.
I agree.
There's really no reason to freeze to the stone.
Nope.
You don't have to hammer this in.
Bang it, get rid of it. You take 2 out of the picture early.
Yep. And sit 1 and 2. They don't really have a steal position set up.
And it looks like Tycho's just going to guard this rock up. And in fact, he's going to come up a well short. Getting it on the rings would be a good secondary, good consolation.
Yep.
And it doesn't look like that's going to happen either. And it did not. So as Roger just said, now trying to freeze to that rock and not making the freeze opens up the door for Albany to score a multiple here.
Right, and it makes it difficult to remove that stone later in the end.
Because you've basically guarded it.
Yeah, because if you get a hit and roll out somewhere along the way, then that stone becomes even more difficult to remove.
Yep.
And rule of thumb, if you don't have hammers, if you're not stealing, you need to be sitting 1 and 2. And you need to eliminate opposition hammer stones, hammer team stones, if you can.
Brian Tully making a takeout now on the yellow rock, so Nutmeg will sit 1 and 2 here, a very nicely thrown stone.
And now Albany will have to be kept busy.
Yep.
These stones, and they're electing to freeze again. And
man,
you're playing with fire.
Guy likes living on the edge.
Yeah. And leaving stones in play when you don't have last rock.
Nope. This is could get dicey here for Albany if this isn't executed. Second rock for Tycho Spadaro in the third end, looking to freeze to the shot rock. And he also looks like he's going to come up a little light here.
Well, at least that rock could be usable as a center guard.
Exactly.
You can come around it and neutralize some stones. And I suspect that stone will be cleared out. Yeah, and Michael Parker's not going to clear that stone. He's going to use it to come around and try to sit 3.
Second stone from Brian Tully here in the third end. And Nutmeg certainly with a chance to, they're putting a big end together here. This might tap the yellow rock onto the rings. In fact, it's going to. For shot rock.
Send it right to the button.
Wow. Unfortunate miss there for Brian.
An
Changes
error.
the complexion of this end quickly.
Albany's not out of the woods yet, though. That's a very lonely shot rock. What you'd love to do is hook a stone halfway around that blue guard.
Absolutely.
And
there's a lot of ways of coming out of this smelling like a rose, too. If he comes to his own yellow stone and taps it right back onto the rock in the back, it's not a bad.
That wouldn't hurt you at all.
Wouldn't hurt you at all
it
either.
Would give you a couple stones.
Yeah.
Some point in this end, Jim Margulis is going to have to be sitting 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 to prevent dropping a big end.
You don't want to move that blue rock. That blue rock is completely your friend right at this moment in time.
Love to have 2 rocks in here.
Looks like he's going to achieve that if it gets by the blue rock.
And I think they're by.
They're by. This is going to be great. Freezing on your own rock's not horrible at all.
They're going to get that.
Here's
tap.
my shot right here.
That's the tap you were looking at.
That's what I was looking at.
That's
right
okay.
there. That's not bad.
And 1 and 2.
Yep. The beauty of this, though, for Nutmeg is if he hits this rock correctly, he could double these rocks out and sit 3.
Could double and roll behind the corner.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, if you miss this shot, you could also remove your rock on the back 8.
Yes,
so,
you could.
Which would be no great loss necessarily, but
not with hammer.
This rock does have to be removed.
Lawrence Bocari with his first rock of the third end. Trading jabs here now, Team Albany and Team Nutmeg. And in fact, he did take.
It came up a little too much.
Came
on
up
him.
a little bit too much.
And that's going to be sitting wide open for Jim Margulis. So now Chip Helm.
What? Jim Margulis thinking over his options there a second or two ago, was thinking about guarding shot rock. I think you got to deal with this blue rock.
You got to run this off.
Got to run this off.
Okay, Chip Helm. His second rock. Looking for maybe a little inside roll here would be perfect, right?
Oh, for sure. I'd like to come half under that blue rock that's outside the park.
The main thing is make sure this thing goes away. You don't like it yet.
Getting better. It's going to be just right. Going to get a little roll in, and that's a good shot.
It's going to go edge on edge. There is a double available, though. The same double they had before.
Yeah. Nice shot there from Chip. And now Lawrence Bocari will throw his second rock.
To make the double here, though, I think you are going to leave the shooter in the open.
I think you're right, unless with too much of a roll he's going to jam. Like
this is out there.
Might have left this one out a little.
He's coming up.
Going to lose the top one.
May go over the top. Yep.
And skitter off the rings in the back.
And now leaves Jim Margulis sitting lone shot rock in the house.
Wow.
So all of a sudden this end has turned around. Now you can come around that blue guard on the intern side and sit 2.
Yep. Just a smidgen behind the blue guard that's on the center.
So just a couple of key misses by the Nutmeg team have turned a very promising end for them.
Into a scramble for 1.
Into a potential steal for Jim Margulis and a scramble for 1. You got it.
first skip rock. Down to skip rocks here in the third end. Looks like a lot of weight. It's actually checking up, though. Line very important here. And it's kind of coming over nice now.
It's going to bury top 4.
It is. Better yet. Oh, that's a great shot.
That's a perfect spot.
Yeah,
Biting
absolutely
top button.
superb.
Hello.
So Jim back to his draw game.
Yep.
Good that he
Found it.
Good that he trusted his draw game. Leaving Mike Parker in a bit of a scramble here now.
A little bit of a pickle. He's going to try to run his guard.
Which makes sense. He's using his own rock, which is always a good thing. Wouldn't be a bad shot if he nuts this one on the top of the 4. He might get them both.
Mainly he's got to open this up so he has a chance to score.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if he runs the blue into the yellow and gets rid of both, he's going to sit one, maybe guarded.
Yeah, I think to double them off, he's going to push the raised stone out into the open, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to hit it a little high side to get the double. This will be very close to the double. Now it's going to be a dead jam.
Yep. So Jim Margulis is in the same spot he was with his previous shot.
Can just throw the same draw.
Yep, cover this rock up.
I think so.
And if you get that lucky little finish at the end to get behind the blue one. You know, I think I like that even better, Roger.
What's that?
I think I like coming the other way, going to the top of the 4-foot and blocking off the button.
Yep, that's another option. This shot on the outside is no gimme. It's you can see about a half a rock.
And there's no fear of giving up more than one, and you take a real good chance of getting your deuce.
Yeah, come around top 4, top button on the outturn side, and I think Michael Parker would have some ugly choices.
Right, and it'll take the pressure off Michael Parker if he doesn't get there with this rock, because he's got an open draw to steal to get his one on the other side.
Again, line looks really good here. As long as they get around this guard. Line is all
It's really
here.
buckling, though. I think he's on the guard. He easy does it. He's on the guard. You got to go easy not to open it
Could
here.
have swept this early.
And actually cut the rings down for Mike anyway.
Yeah, he actually gave him a little bit tougher draw.
Yep.
Well,
Shot rock's buried.
It's fully guarded. So I think Michael Parker will be forced into some sort of draw. Which shot would you play here? You going to play the in-turn draw to the back rock, or you just play the cold draw on the out-turn side?
In turn to the shot rock.
Looks like what Michael Parker's throwing. I'd be tempted to throw the out-turn draw on clean ice.
Yeah, and the beauty of coming with your out turn is that it may overcurl and you could tap your blue one up.
Yep.
The way that I decided to come, you might tap a yellow one up if it
Yep.
buckles on you and give up 2.
Yeah, Michael's got to go really wide here, and that was my thinking is you're going to force him out into the weeds.
Yep, there is a lot of room, and the shot rock is behind the tee line.
Yep.
So really all he's got to do is draw the 4-foot circle on this side.
Either side, yeah.
Either side, so.
Whichever one you're comfortable with.
Yep. Looks like he gave it a chance.
Last rock, third end, Michael Parker. He's throwing the tap. And he just got too much weight
He's
on
going
that.
by it.
Yep.
Skittering right by it.
Yep.
Just nudged it.
Steal of 1 for Albany. They were in trouble early in the end and managed to turn that around.
No kidding. At the beginning of that end, if you told me that Albany was going to steal, I would have said
looked ugly.
It
Looked like yeah,
3 maybe.
at least 3. Yeah,
You know,
I agree.
4 nutmeg.
They got themselves in a huge amount of trouble, leaving nutmeg stones in play. Came out smelling like a rose.
Yeah, I think Jim Margulis, if he had to play that end over, might start taking some nutmeg rocks out early in
You
that end instead of freezing. But I guess if you make the perfect freeze, how does that saying go about execution is the
Execution trumps strategy.
right?
Yep.
And it is the truth.
Yep. If you're going to call those shots, you better make them. But I think they're low percentage. So here we go. Fourth end, Albany leading 3-2. Nutmeg with the Blue Rocks will have hammered this end.
Sorry, man. I do, but I try.
Guard attempt looked heavy, but then it just checked right up. It's going to coast into the top 8, though. Albany lies 1-2. Nutmeg's got a third shot wide on the 8th foot.
I don't mind that. Pound those rocks in there. Pound them in there.
Yeah.
Let them deal with them.
Going for the double here.
Might have it. Oh, jam. No, got it. Left a pretty
nice
easy
roll.
double on the other side.
Left a double on the other side. Yep. I think those got to go.
Nose hit, nice firm nose hit. Boom, boom.
Yep, and they'll both fly.
And sit 1 and 2.
It's the golden rule without hammers. Sit 1 and 2.
I like on the swingy ice coming this way, too. You know, I've got to think about that, playing it even in our own club. I would be tempted to come with my intern here, and it'll curl. It'll come hard, man.
It'll curl so hard you won't be able to control it.
I think he makes where he's got his broom with takeout weight. He's going to make contact with something here.
Hope it's not too much ice. It looks like a little too much for this direction, but we'll see.
He kind of pitched it in a little anyways.
It's not going to move a lot here.
Boy, it is not.
Going to catch the inside rock, maybe.
Yeah.
I think you could have put the broom right in the middle of the
both rocks.
Closest blue
Right,
rock
yeah,
and probably
agreed.
gotten them both.
Yep.
Just got to remember when it swings so hard outside in, you know it's got to be straight inside out.
True. I want to go out and practice that takeout with my intern and throw it about 10 times with bazooka weight and see if I can hold the line on it with no sweeping. I don't know that it can be done. I've
I
flashed
guess
a couple there.
I've had bad luck with those outside ins. I'm throwing almost everything inside out there.
That's wise. I
if
got to
can
remember
see the
that.
rock, you know.
Yep. Looks like Nutmeg's going to sit 1-2 here. Nice throw there from Brian Tully. Very nicely thrown.
Yeah, I got to cut your losses here. Take a stone out.
Again, maybe seeing just a little bit of inexperience on behalf of Jim Margulis here. Again, executing a perfect freeze here is sometimes giving up 2 is not a bad thing. You know.
Well, it's a long way to 2. So we have this split house scenario, and the Hammer team has got to make every shot to keep
right,
this.
But you don't want to open up the door for more than 2, right?
That's right. That's the bottom line, and you hear this in all the high-performance camps if you go to any of those, is you've got to be very conservative.
Everybody's taking this rock out.
Everyone's taking this rock out.
Going to be a little bounce, but in front of it nonetheless.
And he got it out.
He got it off the rings.
Okay, that works fine. Thing to remember here is if the Hammer team makes 1 half shot, then you're off the hook. So if the Hammer team hits and rolls out, or they flash, then you take out the other rock,
whole
and
complexion of the
end is over, right? No more
This
deuce.
is a screwy game.
So, and the worst part is the team without the Hammer, they can throw half shots. So if they're hitting a rock and they roll out, then the Hammer team has to make a perfect shot. They have to draw in, or they have to hit and stick.
And he's all over this. All over. Well, he might lose his shooter, actually.
And there's your half shot.
There,
and now
there it is.
There's a good example. Now the Hammer
Let's
team.
not freeze to this rock, though.
I think you need to kill that rock.
Let's not freeze to it. Just hit it. Okay.
You've got the lead. Got the lead. Make the other team figure out how to get their deuce, right?
Right.
And it's a simple game.
And at this point, they're scrambling for 1.
Right.
Without misses.
I think right now they're probably looking for a blank.
Good call.
So Nutmeg would like a blank out of this. Wide open house. 1 rock in play. Tighten up his ice a little bit. So Chip Helm with the takeout attempt. Oh, and he threw this one really tight. The good news is they can probably hold this.
Maybe.
Maybe. He threw down weight. He just threw down weight. This was just hack weight.
Unfortunate.
Couldn't throw hack weight there. Had to bring it.
You're my hero. You're my hero. No, it was because we've all been there and done that.
Now a chance for Michael Parker to split the house again. And lie 2. Going to have to pound this to
Boy,
get it
I don't
there.
know if they're going to get this rock to the rings. If it will, it's because they're going to will it there. Not happening.
They might have to kick
Not
it.
happening. Wow, unfortunate there for Skinny Larry. Came up a little short with his draw attempt.
If Skinny Larry been Fat Larry, maybe it had enough momentum to get it there, right?
Oh, that's tremendous. I hope you all got that out there. That was the highlight of the weekend. Oh, boy. So now it's funny how many people are afraid to come with the intern here on this side of the sheet. Everybody's learning that it curls like crazy here. Chip Helm with his second shot here now, trying to knock this blue rock off the rings and stick. And it has taken a long time to curl. I don't know if he set it there or there's a little straight run there. Looks like he's got it, though. Going to lose his shooter also.
And that center line's a little bit of a hang spot.
It's the first time we've seen that today.
But there is now a corner guard in play. And a draw attempt goes through, trying to get around the corner. So
Through the park here now.
now you go around the corner. Marcos
Sure.
goes around the corner, and you get a force.
Yep.
High to rock. Thing you don't want to do here is leave a pigeon for Michael Parker to roll under for a deuce.
One of the strangest games, certainly, that I've ever played in my life is the game of curling. Sometimes you curl well and lose. Sometimes you curl bad and win. And trying to set ends up when you're setting up a game as a skip, things don't always work out, and it can be not always fun to play, personally. And I think everybody might feel that way about the game. Anybody who comes out here and says that they have fun all the time when they're playing is either well-medicated or psychotic. There you go. But it is a very challenging game. A little like golf, in an easy game to get started to play and a very difficult game to master. And unfortunate miss there. And now still opening up the door for a deuce here for Mike Parker.
Mike Parker can get a skip deuce here if he can tuck one around the corner.
First skip rock from Mike Parker with hammer here in the fourth end. Looks like he's got a great shot here if it gets by. And it just skinnied by. This is going to be just right if it stays. He's got a backer too, so unfortunately for him, it's going to stay on the rings.
Yep.
Wow.
Now Jim Margulis
Use the backer. Huh?
He can use that same path, and even if you come down to that, it'll be a force.
Yep.
You just want to get behind.
No.
No, you don't want to go open.
No.
You want to get behind. You can even freeze to shot rock would be fine.
Right. Force him to take one. Coming the other way. I don't know about that.
I don't know about it. Just tuck it around the corner.
Yeah.
Just take that same path. You've just seen it. This is out in the weeds.
Oh, my.
Unless there's a hit. I think he thinks he can hit this rock.
Yep. And it looks relatively open. But I think Jim Margulis likes living life on the edge.
It's a little
And
wide.
he flung her out. Oh, my.
And this will be an easy deuce for Michael Parker.
Just got to hit the rings for his two now.
Again, that's the straight side of the ice. You could put that broom
Haven't
right
played
on the
over
edge of
there.
the rock.
And
Right.
not one rock in the whole game has been thrown that far out
Right.
either. It's just
I have no idea of the ice.
odd choice in judgment there for Jim. I think if he had that one back, he might throw the same shot that Mike Parker threw. And this is going to be 2 for nutmeg.
Yeah, they'll get that there.
Mike Parker achieves his deuce. Didn't look like he was going to get it a few shots ago. Funny how an end can change.
So Nutmeg takes a 4-3 lead after 4. Albany playing the Yellow Rocks will have the hammer here in the 5th end. Just remind our viewers, 10 end games, long way to go.
Yes for weight. Yes. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Fifth end of a really tight curling game here for the Dykes final, A final. Dave Watrous sort of put a corner guard up for Nutmeg. And Eric Sebastian looks like he's going to set up a center guard here. I think he was trying to come around. It's going to go right to the top of the 4-foot circle. And top button. What is a pigeon? A pigeon could also be someone who's a very mediocre golfer that plays against much better golfers for money.
An easy mark. Yep. Well, our team calls them ducks. Don't leave a duck. We'll throw a shot and say, whatever you do, don't leave a duck here when you're sweeping this one in.
Nice soft take out there from Dave Watrous. And this end's shaping up like the last one.
Corner guard in play for Albany.
Love to hit and slide under it, right?
Yep. Nutmeg did not establish their center guards early in the end. And so now they're chasing open rocks in the house. But with the corner guard in play, they could hit and roll under and try to establish a force. This one curled right out of hand.
Gonna get it though. It looks like a nose hit to me.
Just gonna hit the nose.
Yep. Brian Tully with a takeout. And now Tycho Spadaro.
Now a hit and roll behind the corner here would be lovely. He set that one out just a hair, I think.
Better go. It's going to curl like crazy if it's down weight, though.
Need to get an inside roll here.
Looks like he's going to get it, too. I think he's going to get it.
Going to get a little roll. Puts it edge on edge. Now a little bit harder to roll underneath, but there is room with the down weight shot. Need to throw maybe hack weight here. And they did get by. Just going to poke out the outside, just over curled.
So Brian Tully able to make both of his takeouts. Would have liked to have stopped that one behind the guard, but
got away from him, was over curling. Now Tycho Spadaro has a chance to hit and roll back the other way.
bit of a cat and mouse end here in the fifth end.
Trying to find that perfect roll behind the corner guard to gain an advantage. And this is the curly direction, so you don't want to be narrow here. This one's curling already. Are they going to catch any of the rock at all?
No, he's off the guard.
They're going to crash on their corner guard. They did not take enough ice for that shot.
I didn't think so either.
This is the curly side. They could have taken a stone and a half of ice and still made the inside roll.
Either or. Mike Parker asking Skinny Larry what he'd like to throw here. Looks like he's trying to throw a little tap on.
I think they're splitting the house, actually.
Splitting the house, okay.
Yep, splitting the house at 1-2. They're not stealing this end.
Called both shots.
Yep. So split the house, lie 2.
Okay.
Keep them above T line. I'd love to have this one even.
Yeah, the guard, if you're going to throw a guard, you want to make sure it's parallel to the other stone so there's no double there.
Right, if you split the house, you want to make it straight across.
Correct.
Looks like they might have changed their mind to throw a center guard. I'm not sure this doesn't actually help Albany.
No, because then they can hit and come underneath it.
Or they can just draw around. They can hit that stone later.
Sure.
Because right now Albany has no obvious way of setting up a deuce.
This might be through the house.
And indeed, this one's going to go out the back door, I think.
Oh, my.
Well, I think it's a chance for Albany to kind of play a cheap end here. Hit and lie shot. Then you can keep the blank in play, and if you get a miss out of nutmeg, then you can convert to split house deuce.
Vice Chip Helm, his first shot here in the fifth end.
They throwing the hit here, or are they just drawing in?
Good question. What turn has he got here? Looks like he's throwing the hit.
Yeah, he's throwing the hit. Looks like an awful lot of ice for this hit. He did slide a little inside.
Yeah, and he threw it that way, so it's actually going to curl like crazy.
Turned it in and slid inside.
I think it's going to go right now. He's got a piece of it.
He's going to contact the rock, so they got a little fortunate there.
Might keep his shooter, too, and he did. Good spot for the shooter. Nice finesse shot. He was kind of going the wrong way there and pitched it back and was able to finesse it to the blue rock.
And they kind of took a narrow slide and pitched the rock out, and it took a strange path, but did the job.
Skinny Larry now with his second shot of the fifth end. And I don't know.
It took too much ice, and he might have been a hair wide on that as well. And so now here's a chance for the cheap deuce. That's why you hit that rock. Coaxed a miss out of nutmeg, and now with a good draw to the other wing, Chip Helm can set up Albany for split house deuce this end.
I better stop calling him Skinny Larry. I don't think he's made a shot since I call him Skinny Larry. We better start calling him Lawrence Bakary again. Looking to split the house here with hammer. Second vice rock for Team Albany here in the 5th end. Don't matter where this rock really winds up as long as it's on the rings, not through.
It's a tough double.
Oh
if
my,
it
and it's going to
anywhere.
go through though. It's going right through. Wow. So unfortunate miss there for Chip, and now we're back to square one here.
Looks like we could be heading for a blank this end. Michael Parker will take a little bit tighter ice and go after this rock.
You notice in this game that nobody has come with any kind of an outturn, outside in, takeout. Everybody's coming inside out.
On this side, yes.
Yeah. Here too, though.
Yep.
They did it coming this way too. Interesting. He's all over it. Yeah, it might roll out on
A
him.
lot of weight, though.
That might roll out. Maybe. And I think, yes,
Off
it
the
did.
rings.
It's off the rings.
Got to bring a little bit less weight to keep those on the rings.
Now I like the idea of the freeze.
Well, you could freeze right on that rock that just rolled off to the back.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not opting to do that either. He's going to play the other side.
I mean, that's a gift rock in the back.
Absolutely. Why not use it, right?
Get right in front of it, set up a jam. You may not get your deuce, but that's the way to torture the other team. Love those rocks just off the rings in the back. Those are ideal.
And he's not even looking at it. I wonder why not. First skip rock from Jim Margulis in the 5th end. Throwing an in-turn draw. Trying to go to the right side of the park here. Opting to not use that blue stone in the back of the rings as a backer or something to freeze to.
Sweepers thought that was heavy, but I think they were in error.
I think they're going to make the rings
They're
anyway.
definitely going to make the rings. They corrected their
Just
assessment.
made it. Oh my, maybe.
That's a biter bar.
Hard to tell from here. It looks like there's daylight, but awful hard to tell from this angle. Could be split on, though.
It could be split on. And so I think it'll have to be removed. It's a very dangerous rock. You just need to touch it on.
I mean, Jim Margulis trying to get in the head of Mike Parker by coming to this side of the house.
Yep.
You know, everybody here saying, why wouldn't you use the other one? And he used this one.
Well, it could be he thought this was a tougher get over here with the hit.
Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to score here.
Yep.
Some of the comments that we get in the chat room are really quite entertaining. We appreciate it. He's got it.
And this one's going to roll out too, I think. Unless it jams on the blue. Nope, it's going to go clean. So this is a chance to blank the end.
Blankety blank.
I think you fire this one through. Take your blank and rack it up again. In the 6th end. And that's excellent. Have the hammer and the even ends late.
Definitely.
So Jim Margulis fires that through for the blank. So after 5, it remains 4-3 in the favor of Nutmeg. And Albany will retain the hammer here in the 6th end, playing the Yellow Rocks. What? No.
Shut Albany out last night, did the Comets. Well, we're halfway through here. A good curling game in our Dykes final. It's probably nothing I haven't heard and wouldn't agree with. Great opening stone there. Leader to Spiel shot for Eric Sebastian. Dave Watrous with his first rock of the 6th end. 5th end was just blanked by Jim Margulis. Keep the hammer here in the 6th. Good choice. Looks real light here. I don't know if they want this rock over, but it is. Be shocked if Mike Parker didn't go for the pot here, and he is. Almost might have been better letting that hog. Now Eric Sebastian's second stone of the 6th end. Looking to put a little pressure on Team Albany here by drawing to the top of the 4-foot circle. Try to get it right behind the other 2 rocks. This will curl like crazy here if the weight's right. Plenty of weight. Just the line. Definitely a line shot here now. Weight's all there, and he's by. Gonna go past the tee line. Right for, oh boy. Ba-doom, boom. Oh. I almost put my hand through the scorer's table. So a draw to the back 8-foot. And now Dave Watrous with his second stone of the 6th end.
Not much curl out here.
But it's really coming, though.
It's
the way it's down weight.
Way down weight.
It's going to pop the blue one on the rings, I believe. And guard up shot rock at the same time. Not a great outcome there for that shot.
Did move the blue guard out enough that you can probably remove it. Open up a path. There's also a yellow tap for Albany.
Mike Parker looking over his options here. I don't think he wants to move that blue rock that's up in the 12-foot. So
No, that rock's in a good spot.
sure is. Drawing around this yellow rock, if you can get there, is good. It will curl. I think if you got the right wake here, it'll curl.
Again, the killer here is that high yellow guard.
Yes, it is. Like I said, they almost would have been more of a fortunate thing to let that rock.
Oh, you need to hog it. You need to hog
rock,
that. Yeah, you don't want that rock over.
Right.
There's nothing worse than having a high guard in play when you have the hammer,
Indeed.
especially in the middle of the sheet.
This is in jeopardy of promoting the yellow rock, and I think it's going to.
It's right on the yellow rock. And if I was Jim Margulis, I'd get ready,
Getting
up there
ready to
sweep.
his bum off here. He might be shot rock after it. Not quite.
Going to get second.
Yeah.
Complicates things because
Yes, it
now he
does.
can't remove the blue
No,
rock.
it's pretty cluttered up now.
You're going to have to peel that high yellow guard, I think. Got to suck it up and peel that guard. Because if you ever get to the nose of that blue rock and you need that yellow guard gone to do that, you might be able to double those blues out.
Not thinking about it, though. It looks like a draw here for Tycho Spadaro.
Straight draw.
Yep. He's not wide. And this is going to promote the blue rock if they're not careful.
Going to be right on the blue. Better hope it over curls and wrecks. Rearrange the furniture a little bit.
Yep. So I'm in accordance with you trying to. I think it would have been a good option for him to peel that yellow guard way out of the way and give himself a better look at things that are tight to the park, right?
It opens up access to all those rocks in the top of the house.
Sure.
Start moving those. We're down to thirds now, so now it's getting late. Looking forward in the end, you know, you're looking at this blue-yellow raise.
Yeah, that almost might be a better option for Mike to cover this up on the left side here, the blue-yellow tap up. They just came down that path.
That's right. And, of course, there's a yellow raise on this right-hand side.
Can't take them both away. This one's a straight raise. The other one's a double raise. Uh-oh. This may do the work for him.
Yeah, never make the opponent shot for them. Oh, that could go right on shot rock. It's going to over curl. They got very fortunate there.
Yes, they did. Going to stay on the rings, however. And now Albany's sitting 2 and 3.
Tough to remove those blues right now because it'll redirect one of the blues right onto second rock.
How about taking a chance with the blue-yellow run back?
I think that blue-yellow raise is probably a very good option.
Yeah, could open it up as well if he doesn't make it just so.
Yep.
Not thinking about it and asking Tycho to draw again with his second stone.
Going to draw around. You can save that for later, assuming that it doesn't get covered up.
Right. Tycho a little narrow on his first one. Let's see if he can get out to the broom here. And looks like he's not out there again. I don't believe he got out there.
No, and that's tight again. Going to be on the
clearly going to be on the blues. Going to pop the blue rock onto the rings, maybe into the 8-foot and keep it open. And it does.
And it does leave it in a good spot now. That's a pigeon, folks. That's
yes.
That gives you a hit and roll into the pin area.
Another blue duck on the pond.
Yeah. We kind of messed up the blue-yellow raise a little bit now, too.
It's a little snugger.
Made it a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
Now you got to get that blue rock almost on the nose to raise the yellow into the rings.
Larry Beccari, I don't know if he's looking to guard or going top 4 here if you can get there is would really raise heck for Team Albany. If this gets by, it's going to be a glorious shot. And he gave up on the draw.
And made that yellow-blue combination even snugger.
Yes, it did. Still there, however.
This is still a pigeon, though. This rock on the 8-foot.
If you nose hit that blue rock that's in the 4-foot, you're definitely gonna spill it onto the back one to shot rock.
So
but he's going to opt for a hit and roll.
You got
here.
a hit and roll here,
Yeah.
and that's your easiest way to get to shot rock.
For sure. Chip Helm now, the vice for Albany Curling Club here in the 6th end with his first stone. Looking to remove this blue rock, that second rock, and roll underneath the pile of granite at the top of the park. Kind of pitch this out just a little.
Not narrow, but it will come.
Got to let it come up.
Nice weight. It's coming.
He's got it. He's got it.
And
That's
spins
a
it
beauty.
on the 4-foot.
What a nice shot there from Chip Helm.
Once again,
Hit
really nice
and roll.
weight. Really nice weight on that shot. He was a little wide, but
yeah, he's kind of two times
forgiving.
now. We haven't seen him do that in this game. The last two shots that he's thrown, he's kind of been going one way and pitched the rock the other way. It's hard to control a rock when you actually do that. And he did it quite...
well, the most important thing is he threw really nice weight at that. Didn't overthrow it. Now they're going to try running this blue rock into shot. Hit this wrong, you could jam it in the back.
Outside for sure.
And Larry Bukhari threw this a little bit on the wide
Going
side.
right. Oh, my. Okay.
Moved a lot of granite, but none of the good stuff.
No, not exactly what he had in mind there. Big weight.
Now I think you got to cover that raise.
Definitely. And finally, our blue-yellow raise is not there.
It's now gone.
I mean, it maybe you could just chip it onto the...
Been taken all away. But
we looked at it 3 or 4 shots. It was there, but Jim took a different path, and having a good one because he got a good hit and roll with Chip's previous stone.
Well, they got the gift pigeon, which gave them a route to the 4-foot.
Right.
And now they need to guard up the raised takeout.
Weight's good for the guard. Just a weight call here, just a line call here at this point.
Don't want to over curl this.
They can go easy on it, I think, from here.
Over and up. It's going to over curl.
It is going to over curl. Kind of. Sort of. Don't know.
Well, that's in a pretty good spot
Yes,
because
it
I
is.
think they can no longer use the blue.
I don't know.
It's a tough get.
I've got a couple of curlers in my way here. I can't quite see.
Well, they can see a half a rock.
Yep. Still there. I think if he hits what he can see of it, he makes the shot.
Yeah. If you hit the yellow, though, it's not good.
No, it is not. And it's tricky here because it comes up real hard here, too.
So Jim Margul is hitting 1 here in the 6th end. He's got the last rock. And he's pretty much got to touch the 4-foot to get a deuce.
First stone from Mike Parker, skip of the Nutmeg Curling Club. 6th end. Interesting end developing here. And this rock is going to over curl on him.
It's going to be right on the yellow rock if it doesn't crash on the top yellow.
Which might make the blue rock more promotable. Oh, my goodness.
And there's another pigeon.
Oh, my.
Now he can hit and roll into the 4-foot
Same
again.
shot, pretty much,
Absolutely.
right?
They just threw this shot.
Yep. Roll away is not a bad option either if you don't get the roll in. Just don't want to leave it right there for Mike to double him out.
I'd be tempted to leave Parker that run in on the blue rock.
Me too.
I think I would just play this hit and roll again.
So it looks like he's opting where he tapped his broom. He's going to kind of corner freeze on this blue rock, and better not bounce. That's all. If you're going to do that, you got to throw a perfect freeze, because if he bounces, he's going to leave a possible double there for Mike Parker.
Yep. I think there's not much downside to playing that in off the blue rock. If you come to your own, you're still going to be 2.
Correct.
If you hit it really thin, you might catch on the back blue.
Yeah, and it is going to be above shot rock, so if he does hit it on the nose, the double, obviously slash double's there, but now there's an opportunity here for Mike Parker to get out here with an in off his own, right? It's above the rock.
Yep. It's a little tighter now that the corner guard is in play.
Yeah, that's a tough shot.
And after Michael Parker backed up a bit, he's not sure he likes it.
Yeah, it's not there. How about just a little tick on the blue rock? Just tick it over behind the yellow onto the button.
I think it's a tough angle raise, very steep. If you're Michael Parker, you're just trying to make sure that Jim Margulis doesn't have a draw for 2.
Right.
So Jim
I'm trying to figure out a 2 for him if he does something with this blue one. What has Jim got for 2?
He's going to have to play the wide out turn draw. Either that, or he's going to have to play a real tight to the blue guard and try to chip those 2 yellows in, the yellow-yellow combination.
Tough.
I mean, Jim's got this draw for 2, assuming that nothing bad happens here, or he's got the whack on those 2 to raise that to the pin.
Mike Parker now. Looks like he's trying to do what I was considering, ticking that rock in. No.
It's going for the in off.
Going for the in off. And it looks like more of a nose hit.
Yep, it's going to be right in the nose.
Did he catch it before it struck the rock in the pad?
He did.
Okay.
So you just leave it. Oh, that was nice. They should have just left it there. They screwed up.
Little mistake there from Lawrence Bakari.
Yeah, that was nice of him.
So now all Jim Margulis really needs to do, he can come down here with just sort of draw, look like a heavy draw, and just chip off of that blue one and skitter in and get his deuce, right?
Yep, he's going to throw a hack waiter.
Yeah.
He's going to catch this blue rock really thin.
Looks like Chip was tapping for back 8 weight. Both will work if you hit the rock correctly.
Yeah, you just got to hit this rock really
thin. Right, got to hit it correctly is more than the, just don't want to be draw light.
Yep, hit it really thin, redirect. And I think the
Even
way
draw light with a tick might get it there. Just got to get it to the blue circle, right?
I think if you get to the inside, you almost can't miss because there's a catcher out there.
Don't want to chip it in, though. Don't want to chip it in. Oh, my. Oh, no.
And they're going to sweep it by. It's going to hang out.
Yeah.
He's,
Yikes. So Albany gets their 1 and ties the game after 6. It's 4-4, not Megan Albany. on to the 7th end now. Nutmeg gets the hammer back in a tie game here.
You know what, though? He can throw it. He can throw it. So you let him do what he does, we never died on these balls.
These guys are leaving it all out here today. What a pleasure to be part of calling this game and watching such a well-played final here in the Dykes. Any of us who know that we played in these kind of games, it's so difficult to get this far in a tournament like this. In any curling tournament, for that fact. It's so hard to get this far. You have one bad game and you're playing for a different event.
That's right. And you have to remember that all these folks are 5 years and under curling experience. We're seeing some pretty good shot making out here.
Oh, without question. I've almost lost the attachment that these guys are 5 and under players, as well as they're playing. Dave Watrous now with his second rock of the 7th end. This is a 10-end game.
He was over the line a little bit. Yeah, it looked like right here. Hovering. Not touching it. Here, it looked like he was. Where he lets go, puts on top, does that was technically.
Dave Watrous's rock skittered onto the 12-foot here. And Mike Parker is asking Eric Sebastian with his second rock to remove that stone. Sit 1 and 2. Shot got a little wide on him here. And it's going to just tick it over, I believe. And he did get enough to get it off the rings. Now Tycho Spadaro. Tycho looking to draw around, I believe. Or was he throwing? He actually might have been throwing a takeout there and he was inside. And that's unfortunate miss there. Over to Brian Tully now, the second for Nutmeg Curling Club.
And we do have our first final. Looks like Todd Kay of Broomstones has defeated Mark O'Donnell of Bucks County for the B event championship. Congratulations to Todd Kay and his rink.
You know what they say, never mess around with a guy that wears a kilt and pink socks. I'm in accordance with that. He can be on my team, that guy. A couple of misses here now in the 7th end are creating a bit of an open end here. Tycho Spadero will come back and try and take this blue rock out. At this point, if you're Jim Margulis, I think you'd like Nutmeg to play for 1. Still have a guard up at the top of the park.
Those teams had good draw weight. I think they just got to keep trying to come around here. Doesn't look light. Oh, they're going after the rock.
This is a takeout.
Okay, I thought they were coming around.
And he had the out turn.
All right, so they just decided to go conservative here.
Get it behind
They're going to get
guard.
a nice roll, though. Look at that.
Oh, that's tremendous. He got it right behind the guard. Tycho
Double duty.
Coming through there. Yes, indeed.
They are behind tee.
Mike Parker will ask Brian Tully with his second rock of the end here to peel this guard at the top. And mission accomplished there for Brian and good stone.
Okay. We need a guard. Anywhere in front of the house, we need a guard.
Moving into Vice Rocks here in the 7th end. No hammer for Albany. We'll try and set up a guard here in front of Shot Rock. Just on the back of the button. Full 4 foot behind the button.
Yes. Up. Yes. Control. Okay. Guard. Come behind.
Chip looking to throw a guard here. Don't mind it touching the rings, just don't want to get it close enough to make an easy double.
Come down and sit right on there.
I think this is going to come right down to the shot. I'm not sure he wanted to come that deep with that stone, but
Yeah, a little pocket now. Decision to make here. Can double these out and play for a blank and try to keep hammering 8.
or a hit and flop over on the other one.
Flop would be really nice.
Start the engines back up for a deuce.
Behind tee line, that's the only problem. But, you know, if you want to freeze to one of those stones, that might be a way to start.
Lawrence Bakari now. And he's going for the double. And I think he's got it.
That should get it. Ta-dum. Can they spin it out?
Don't think he's going to get
Not
the second
quite
one
enough
off the
spin.
rings, no.
Yeah, we don't have the Briar ice. That would have spun off in championship ice.
Yeah, exactly. Right. 7 second peel. Been a long weekend for the voice for you, Roger.
Yeah, it's been pretty long.
You better have a Ricola.
Especially after everyone in the club has had either bronchitis or something horrible the last 3 months. It's been ridiculous.
Kennel cough.
It's been terrible.
The Utica Curling Club kennel cough. It's not just here, though.
Trouble is one guy gets
My
it and
office practice,
everybody.
everywhere I've been, right. It's just, I spend a lot of time here, so it's apparent I'm around more people here.
Well, I swear to God, the curling rink is an ideal environment to spread germs. It's nice and cold to keep all the viruses nice and
Sure.
healthy.
And, yeah,
And then
exactly.
everybody touches the rock handles
Exactly.
and shakes hands before every game.
I'm going to opt to the committee that we put those Purell things out there in each sheet. Or it might be out there.
We do have
We
some
do have
antiseptic
some,
wipes, yeah.
you know. Albany sitting 1 and 2. Lawrence Bakari, his second stone of the end here. I think he'd like to hit and flop over in front, but looks like it's going to curl up on him. And it does, still leaving Albany sitting 1 in the back of the park. And we're down to skip rocks here now in the 7th end. I think if you're Jim Margulis, you'd like to guard your shot, sit 1 and 2. Right in front of the shot that's in the back of the park. Somewhere in front of it.
Let it bend. Got to finish falling first.
Well, Albany's not stealing this end. I think their goal here is to sit 1 and 2 and get a force.
Oh, sure.
Take
Absolutely.
the hammer and 8 down 1. That's a good spot.
Line looks real good on this shot. Doesn't run out of real estate. And this is going to work out fine for him. A little deep. And it went all the way to the other rock. I think if you want to get a deuce here, you got to freeze to this rock. And it looks like he's hitting.
Yeah, either go for the blank, you bang away, or if you want to go for the deuce, you play the freeze behind T-line. The danger is there are 2 rocks in play, so and nothing wrong with having hammer in the 8th end.
Like team weight. And when it has to finish falling before it'll come back.
Mike Parker, first rock here of the 7th end. Just as good as a freeze.
Yep.
Just as good as a freeze.
Now he's got a chance for the deuce.
Yep. Real good outcome there.
Those will be very difficult to get out. Let's take a look at our far house. You can see that not much separation. You get those out with a half a rock, and it'll be a blank anyway.
Yeah, but you don't want to be far enough away from those rocks where he can chip it out and get his deuce. I think you want to come right to this, don't you, and make him play for 1?
Yep. I think if you want to get the force here, you
Gotta
probably
freeze
want to
right on
freeze
it.
on it. Yeah.
Yep.
Because to get both of those out, you're going to lose your shooter.
I think he threw a little more weight than he did with his first one. It's really coming over nicely, though. From where I'm sitting, it looks like it's going to come right to the nose.
It's really hooking now.
Yeah.
It's going to bounce. Going to bounce.
Easy. And that's going to be door open for a deuce.
Yep.
Hit and roll this way or that way. Don't matter.
No bounce, no bounce, no bounce. How many times do we hear
Yep.
that in the
Absolutely.
process of a curling game? Let's come down and see who shot rock.
Yellow is shot, so Michael Parker will have to chase it.
And if you're Jim Margulis, you're hoping that he hits it and rolls out and only comes up with 1.
Right, and then it's mission accomplished. You
Yep.
got your force.
And Mike Parker would like to hit this right on the schnozola and take his deuce.
It's coming the curly direction here, so Have to be a little careful.
Yeah, you want to firm this up.
And he's tight. Came right up the center line.
Going right by it.
He may breeze
Going
it.
right by it. Oh,
And
wow.
got just a piece.
Boy, hats off to his sweepers there. They saved his bacon.
So only one for Michael Parker, a deuce hitting on the table, and he left 1 point on the table that end.
Great job by the sweepers to hold that rock. Mike a little narrow getting out of there on that one, and his sweepers really worked that rock over to get a piece of the
They
yellow
did
rock.
indeed. So after 6 ends of play, Nutmeg takes... 7 ends of play, correct. Nutmeg takes a 1 point lead, and Albany playing the Yellow Rocks will have a hammer here in the 8th end. Critical time to have the hammer on even ends late. Albany down 1 with that hammer in 8th. Things go according to form. They'll have 2 hammers to Michael Parker's 1.
And this kind of curling games start to get late into the game. The pressure of the pressure starts to rise just a little bit, and the juices get flowing just a little bit.
Yep. Now the thing to watch out for here in the 8th end and on toward the 10th end is that the area up the slide path in the middle of the sheet between the 4-foot lanes is start to get a little bit slower. And we'll see if our front ends pick up on that.
Looks like Eric Sebastian's first rock is going to slide onto the rings here. Quite possibly through the rings. No, it's checking up. It's going to be in the back of the park. Back 12. Jim Margulis asking Dave Watrous to throw a corner guard with his first stone. Looks like it's going to wind up more on the center.
Albany does have a hammer this end, so no reason to leave that thing outside the house, is there?
None. Especially not in the center.
Yeah, it's kind of in an awkward spot, I'd say.
Yep. See if Jim opts to have him trying to move that around with Dave's second stone. Well, Jim Margulis is in danger of getting the front end junked up with the hammer here, and that's never good, especially in a close game like that. I think I like chipping that yellow rock out from behind the blue one.
Well, you got those guards staggered. Tough shot to chip the yellow. I mean, almost got to come around here. I don't like the thought of throwing more guards unless you're throwing a corner guard and you're going to peel out those centers.
And this is going to wind up cluttering it up further.
And now there's more crap in the center.
Oh, boy. Brian Tully now with his first rock of the 8th end.
I'm glad Nick's out. Are you? Try curling that. Try curling that.
That's how you become a pro.
I left my steak on the basket yesterday.
It wasn't 5 in the first, it was 5 in the third.
And a good steal opportunity for Nutmeg. I think this rock's sailing to the back.
This has got to hit something. Right through. Unfortunate there for Brian. Now Jim Margulis will have a chance to either open the front end up or looks like he's going to opt to draw here. We're back into that swingy ice draw here.
Yep. So we're kind of trapped in a come around game now.
Yeah. I like popping that blue rock and getting rid of those two that are stuck at the top of the park. No help there for Jim Margulis with those. Even just getting that yellow rock off of there, with back house weight, just to tap that yellow one on the rings. It's going to hook.
This one's not light either.
That's also through the rings. Oh, and it hooked.
That hooked a ton.
For shot rock.
It's barely shot rock in the back.
But nonetheless, it is shot rock.
It's behind tee line.
So we're down. We've seen a couple of ends coming this way today where we got into this game, into this type of a game early in the end, and it looks like we're sworn to it at this point.
Yeah, we're trapped in the come-around game now. And
first hog to the trough, as you would say.
First hog to the trough. Whoever can get to the top of the house first here is going to have a big advantage. This one looks like it's on the guard.
Not yet. Now it is.
Yeah, that'll help Jim Margulis because that pounds open this side
right
of the sheet. Now you can draw in. Seems content to guard this path.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would want to go top 4, top 8 here, right?
And there's plenty of swing here, so I think you can get fully buried.
See if Tycho can find his weight here. He's been a little heavy.
And if you can throw top house weight here with good line, the sweepers ought to be able to just fully bury this on the top 4.
Yep. You'd want one right behind that yellow rock, right?
Absolutely. And those guards are staggered, so they can't be run.
It looks like he adjusted his weight, but I'll tell you what, it's still tight. Still tight.
They're going to be on their yellow if they don't get on this pretty
Which to me
soon.
is not the end of the world. If you can tick that yellow one off of there, it's not horrible.
They're going to get by, maybe.
I don't know. Not quite.
I think they should have stayed on that.
Oh, man, I think perfect. So. Absolutely. Now he's given
now there's another
Mike
pigeon.
A chance to hit and roll.
Yeah, he left a pigeon on that one. You had to get that one by, even if you went back button.
Absolutely.
Now a chance for Larry Bocari to hit and roll, and this one's taking off early.
He's by, however. I think he's going to get a hit and roll here. Nice shot.
Yep.
What a nice shot. We'll call him Skinny Larry on that one. Skinny Larry comes through in the clutch. Yeah. Now Jim's got to think about busting this front end open. I thought early in the end, if he'd made a decision to do that, he might have been better off.
Needs to catch a half a rock and spin everything away.
Yep, open it up. Give himself a look. We'll remember that shot in the 8th end that Larry Bocari just threw. Chip Helm now playing a little cleanup here for Team Albany in the 8th end.
Yep, clean up on aisle 3. There's no such thing as wide on this side of the sheet.
Fact. This is going to work out great for him.
And he's got a half a rock. And he's going to roll
Beauty.
everything away.
Absolute beauty.
There you
Nice
go.
throw there from Chip. Well executed. Mike Parker wasting no time in calling for a center guard here. Let's see if Lawrence Bucari can execute a guard here. Now he made a gorgeous hit and roll with his first shot. Might leave a port here for him. He might have left a port here for him. He did. That rock's pretty much wide open.
May jam in the back, though. I think the smart money shot is to go ahead and run the center guard off and roll for another counter.
Boy, you know you're right. And if he hits that top one right, he might get them both.
Yeah, you could hit it in such a way as
just get a quarter of the one behind it, and away they go.
Roll in.
Just off nose, boom, boom.
But even a straight peel and roll behind the corner would put some pressure on. You're sitting second and third with lonely shot rock in the house.
Right.
So we got 3 rocks left, so.
Chip Helm with his second rock now. Looks like he set this one out just a little bit here. Going to play the angle raise now. And he might have it. He might have it. I think he's got it.
Just too wide.
Just too wide. Had to come up just a little bit more.
And we do have another final we can report on sheet 1, our E-event final. Steve Johnson of Bucks County was victorious over Norfolk. Jonathan Swick. So congratulations to Steve Johnson and his rink.
Down to Skip Rocks here now in the 8th end. Mike Parker throwing a guard, trying to cover up shot rock here. Looking for a just off center guard in front of his shot rock. Definitely doesn't want to move his blue rock at the top of the park. I don't know.
It's going to leave a hole. Going to leave a hole. Can throw a lightweight tap here.
Boy, and soft just roll to the center, huh?
Yeah.
Right there. And the way those blue rocks are guard up, it'll be real hard to get at if you can execute this.
Do that, or you can roll it the other way under the corner.
Which wouldn't be horrible either, as long as you're one.
Got a couple rocks left here. Not sure you want to waste a rock peeling here.
Me either.
Because guard goes back up, and you may not have a better shot
Makes
at
a
this
nice
zone.
coming through the port with just kind of back 8 kind of weight, just to flop over shot rock and go to the center. He's going to be in business.
And if you tick the blue on the way by, you open it back up, you'll force another guard to
Very
be thrown.
true.
I mean, you've definitely got enough curl there. You can see almost the entire rock. I think if he goes down into the hack, he may discover that rock is a lot more open than it looks from the house.
Looks like he's opting to open the front end up. Or chip the blue one. You look, that's a tough shot. He's trying to blue double. I think you just jam it, don't you?
Yeah, you could run it over the top, but I think if you do that, the blue may jam on your yellow in the back, right? There's a couple different jams that are.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Yep. Oh, difficult shot here that Jim Margulis is opting to throw with his first rock here in the 8th end. It looks like he's trying to, the blue rock that's in the 12-foot, it looks like he's trying to run it back onto shot rock, split him. He'd love to keep his shooter around here.
Yeah, and
he could actually wind up shot rock if he just changed his mind.
He just discovered from that, yeah.
He just saw from the other end that maybe a nice light come around takeout.
He just saw that he could see the whole rock from the hack. So from our cameras,
I think there's a bigger percentage of making this shot.
Absolutely.
He's set it out just a little bit. Got to let it come up. Got to let it come up. Playing a tick. Playing a tick. And he chipped it out. Got it. Go. Moved it out into the open.
Not shot rock, though. It looks like Parker is still sitting 2.
Yep. 8-foot circle wide open, however.
So he's opened up the scoring area. Not sure why they were sweeping that rock so hard.
I'm not either. If they were sweeping for a tick, maybe.
They got by the guard with a lot of room. The only question is what do you want to leave Jim Margulis? The only question is which way do you want to draw here if you're a nutmeg?
I think you want to put one in front of this blue one up in the 8-foot circle, right? Just touching the 8-foot circle, sit 1, 2, and 3.
I think you can go 4-foot either side. You can either draw in this way, or you can draw in this way. You know there's a lot of finish in that direction.
He can't take both sides away.
No, he's going to take one side away and leave Jim the other, and you have to decide which one you want him to throw.
Yeah, it'd be a high-pressured shot, certainly, if he can sit 1, 2, and 3.
I think on this curly side, very hard to come outside in with that yellow corner guard.
Yep.
But you can go inside out to the 8-foot. So unless this is sitting on the 4-foot, then I think you can go inside out to score this end.
Yep.
And he could even come down to the rock in the back of the rings to score. So Michael Parker really needs to put this one on the 4. And he's covering this inside out draw. Just throwing a guard. Down the path we just talked about, that inside out draw
took
path.
that away.
And took that one away. And so now Jim Margulis will have an out-turn draw to score as 1. I think there's plenty of room there. He just came down this way. He only needs full 8. Don't see an easy way to score 2. So I'm pretty sure Michael Parker's sitting first and second stone.
Sure looks like it. So he's got to draw for his 1 here.
Draw for 1. He's got a couple options. He can go outside in. I think he can still go inside out and still get shot rock.
And in a phrase that I use quite often when I'm calling a curling game, this is why the skips get the big bucks.
So there's
pressured shot here.
There's nothing wrong with playing that shot for 1, right? You can go either way.
Yep.
This way.
Draw the port here.
This way is a little tight.
What is it? This is real tight ice, though, for a draw. Got to go out there a
This is the straight side, so.
That's not a lot of ice, though. I think you need a little more ice than that, but we'll see where it goes here. He needs to be full in the 8. He's got to touch the white circle, the big 8-foot circle, to get his 1.
And the question, why not throw this inside out draw? You can go right to the 4-foot or middle 8, and that's really all you need to get your 1 here.
Yeah.
That's going through the port the easy way. May not know the ice there, though.
Sitting 2 is nutmeg right now.
Jim Margulis, last rock, 8th end.
Better go. He missed it.
And it took off.
Uh-oh. Might tap another one
Might
up, but
want
they
to
got to
get
come
off.
up. Got to come
Might
up.
want to get off, boys.
They're going to tap another one on the rings for them.
Get off, boys.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
my goodness.
Oh, my God. Wow.
A little bit of luck.
Sometimes the curling gods are with you, and sometimes they are not. An unfortunate sneak out for Jim Margulis to tie the game after 8 ends at 5.
I think the rock might have picked on the,
I'm sure
the
it
flat
picked.
spot. It took off.
Wow.
And the crowd goes wild up here in the warm room. And that
Sometimes you just say sorry when you skid by the other
Yep.
skip. It's just one of those unfortunate things that happen. But instead of the Nutmeg Curling Club being up by 3, now we have a tie game after 8 ends with 2 ends remaining.
It looked like a sure steal of 2 and then possibly a steal of 3.
Whew.
It looked like that rock might have picked on a flat spot there where we're wearing down the middle of the sheet.
I'll say.
And that just took off.
Did it move 5 feet? And just found a way to skitter through those blue rocks to wind up on the 8-foot.
About the only way you could do that.
Oh, jeez.
I don't think
You certainly couldn't call a shot like that.
You could not have diagrammed that.
No, you couldn't have.
Yeah, there's no way.
No. Unless you're Brad Anderson.
Well,
Brad Anderson,
yeah.
maybe. Brad might have been able to diagram that one.
Yep.
Against 4. Against 4, we'll say. Maybe 5. Brad, if you're listening out there, I love you, brother.
Well, one of the things we always say about these big Bonspiels when you've got this many teams is somewhere along the way you need to catch a break to win one of these things. It's hard to win, 5-6 games in a row.
For sure. Yeah, it's no mistake that both of these teams are undefeated getting here, right?
That's right. That could have been one big break that turns this game. That could have been a disaster for Albany.
But what more could you ask for in a final of a curling event to be tied after 8 ends?
There you go.
Pressure.
And the best part about that outcome is for Albany is that they're going to have the hammer in the 10th end in all likelihood. So this could be a whale of a finish. So Michael Parker throws his first one to the side after the center guard. This is the old junior do strategy.
Another game over there, 4-on-4.
And that's a final on 4, your D championship final. Potomac, Inglis defeats Plainfield Joe Angeli 10-1. And that is a final. Your D event champions.
Looks like Dave Watrous is trying to freeze down to Shot Rock again here.
They've lived by this freeze.
Boy, they have. This one looks real good, however. It's going to bump it back.
It's going to be another tap out, and I think I'd just rather take that out anyway.
You and me too.
Yep, that's just fine. That junior do strategy only works. Yeah, that junior do strategy only works if the other team doesn't chase the rocks.
Through the house takeout.
Yeah. We call around here the Finland weight, right? One of our old-time curlers, he no longer curls here, was famous for throwing takeouts that just barely eked through the house if you swept.
Mm-hmm. Would that be Bob Markison?
Finland.
Finland.
Yeah, Finland weight.
Gotcha. And we got one of his own here, with Eric Sebastian.
It's tightening this up a little bit. They're going to throw a little more weight here.
Tycho Spadaro, his first rock of the 9th end of the championship game here in the Francis Dykes tournament for 5-year and under men curlers.
Another nice shot coming. Now they're going to get the roll. Comes out the backside. Good attempt.
Now Brian Tully.
It's our retired skip, who's one of our watchers, I'm sure, knows Mr. Finland. And is very familiar with the phrase.
Brian Tully now being asked to erase this yellow rock. I think at this point, unless things change, that Nutmeg would like to work for a blank end here and have the hammer coming for home. Going to lose the shooter. And we're starting over.
Well, advantage to Albany now with that half shot. They're able to come around and establish a force or a potential steal here.
Yes, sir.
So I think the downside of playing the junior deuce strategy and not forcing the end by coming to the wings, throwing a corner guard, or coming around that center guard is you're one half shot away of.
And you want to think of the
Albany
pro
to,
side here
yeah.
too. You don't want this rock to be in the back of the plate. You want this rock to be short if it's not going to bury.
Right, and you don't want to leave the pigeon. You
Right.
want to make sure you get at least half under so they can't hit. And
Definitely
roll onto
adjusted
this
his
guard.
weight. He's definitely down weight here.
I think this will be a guard. It's going to over curl.
This will be a little over and upper. Yeah. The other.
Now, if this guard goes in play, you're forcing play into the center.
Correct.
With these double guards, I think both teams will now try to get around. Did leave a potential double there, so if Parker wants to keep the blank in order, he might try doubling these stones out.
Absolutely.
Roll for a corner, keep the deuce in play.
Brian Tully, second stone here in the 9th end. Tie game. Only one other game still continuing out there on sheet 5. And mission accomplished. Nice throw.
Left to center guard, though.
Yep.
So Albany can go around that. And again, establish a force.
Now Chip Helm with his first vice rock here in the 9th end. Looking to draw around that center blue stone. Front end is reported that he's light, and I think he's going to be all over the guard. Another one in the center here.
All right, now are we going around or are we clearing? Big decision to make here. Going for the double peel.
I don't know how far away that blue rock is from the park, but if I thought that blue rock was close enough to the park, I might try splitting them on.
Yeah, it's pretty far out.
A couple feet.
Yep. Larry Bakari going for the double peel.
It's all over it. All over it. Great shot.
And leaves a corner guard.
Very nice. Nicely thrown.
Now Albany's got to go around that corner and try to get a force.
Good shot there from Skinny Larry. Chip Helm with his second rock, now the 9th end. Looking to draw around shot the guard here. Like to get right behind it in the 4-foot, I would think. 8-foot, 4-foot, 4-foot better.
Just want to get tucked in to
making
force.
the draw space tighter.
Yeah, want to force nutmeg to 1 here.
They seem to think it's light, and they're on it right away out of his hand. I think it looks pretty good weight-wise.
It's got to curl
Kind
up.
of took the curl out of it a little bit by beating it up early. It's plenty of weight. It's going to the back of the park. And it's actually going through the park. That rock did not need any sweeping. A little misread there on the front end of Albany.
Now Nutmeg has a chance to stick one around the corner and set up a deuce. Deuce would be huge this end.
Yeah,
tie game.
Nutmeg's back in business if they can get one behind their corner.
Need to go for 2 here.
I'm not sure this has got enough legs to get there.
If it does, it'll be open.
Not there. Nope.
All right, another chance now for Jim Margulis. See if he can get around this corner guard. Or around the center guard, either one. Take your pick. Just need to get hidden somewhere.
Opting to go way out in the frosty tundra out there.
On the other hand, you've got a tremendous amount of finish out here, so
True.
rock should bury. Hope that's enough ice.
The grass is certainly tall out there.
Jim Margulis with his first. Trying to draw around at lie 1.
We've been asked why we were calling the house a park. I don't have any explanation for that one.
No question. No clue. Good question. No clue.
Not by.
Didn't take enough ice, and
Going to pop them on the rings, too.
You pop this in, that would be really unfortunate. It does, and this is a free deuce. Potential free deuce for.
So now you split the house,
Michael
I think,
Parker.
late in the game like this, correct?
Well, the problem is that blue rock is a pigeon still, right? There's a chance you can hit the roll off of that to the 4-foot behind the center guard.
Analogies. A lot of good comments coming in the chat room today about our choice of semantics for this goofy game that we play.
A lot of colorful phrases in curling.
Yep. Tall grass. Sometimes I refer to that spot in the ice way out as sandpaper.
Yep.
Can almost hear it under the rocks.
Well, Michael Parker's decided to go around the wide yellow corner.
Split the park, the house,
Yep.
the rings,
I
the
think,
circles,
I think the only
the paint.
The paint, yeah. The only out here for Jim Margulis is going to be the hit and roll, I think, from the one he just raised in.
Perfect shot here coming. Perfect shot from Mike Parker. No doubt about it. Very nicely thrown.
And you got a hit and roll, I think, from off the one on the left. See if you can stick one right underneath the center guard. They're actually going to freeze to the one that was just thrown.
Bring 3 into play here if you don't make it.
Yep.
So going game. Go big or go home is the motto of Jim Margulis here.
And Jim Margulis is going to freeze here. And behind the glass, we're looking at this to roll behind the guard.
Uh-oh.
And he amped this one.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Playing for the tick, and they're not going to get that. A little too much adrenaline.
Unfortunate miss there for Jim, and now door wide open for Mike Parker to just put another one on the rings and get 3 here. This would be the first big blemish of the game. And this looks real good. He's all there. This is going to be a 3-bagger, barring a grenade launcher here for Mike. Beautiful shot for 3. Yep. Beautiful throw to take a commanding 3-point lead coming for home.
So Albany has his work cut out for it now. They'll need 2 corner guards to set up a potential score of 3.
Wow. And Mike Parker will have Eric Sebastian throw through with his first rock without question. Don't want to leave anything around for, certainly if he leaves anything around for Jim Margulis, he's going to freeze to it. This will be a good time to start freezing.
Well, you throw 2 corner guards here, I think, wherever these rocks go. I think one rock goes through a corner guard, another rock goes through a second corner guard. Then you're waiting for a nose peel of one of the corner guards until you go around. And that's how you set up your 3. You need a little help to get 3. Just a half shot will do it.
You're cut off, Izzy.
Can't blame me, I was way over here.
Too bad we don't have a picture of that. Too much Strambouille for you.
I didn't get
Dave Watrous now needs to set up a corner.
At least when a Puerto Rican turns,
I don't have a lot, far way to go.
when a Puerto Rican turns red, you can't tell.
You just turned browner.
Looks like Dave might be a little toasty with his shot here. And that's going through the rings. Unfortunate there. "10 feet short would be okay."
That's like missing your chair.
Eric Sebastian will throw through once again. And then the countdown will begin for Team Nutmeg to try and reduce Yellow Rocks to where they run out. Been a great curling game. It's unfortunate for Team Albany that the way the 9th end unfolded, the 3-point lead is not indicative of how good a curling game this has been. One kind of wonky end there for Jim Margulis and his team. Okay, they're going to get a corner set up here.
That's plenty good.
Yep.
Need some misses now. If you can get 2 corners set up, you have a chance to get a 3.
Free guard zone over. Brian Tully will be directed to peel this rock out. I think he'd love to have a shooter go away.
Is he on the second? Okay, all right. Yeah, right.
Yes, yes! Hard! Hard!
Looks like a nose hit to me. And that's fortunate.
And there you go. That's
Margulis can use that rock.
You need a half shot. Now you got to set the other corner guard.
Yeah.
No, you got to set another corner.
Down 3, you got to set another corner.
You need 2 corners.
Yep.
The way you get 3 is you get 2 corners up, and then you go around one. They clear the corner. You go around the other. They hit the open rock, and you go around the corner twice to set 2 buried. That's how you get your 3. It's too early to come around. So Michael Parker's not going to allow Albany to stack 3 stones behind this corner guard.
No way.
Gotta believe. Tell you what, if it was A event, I probably would say,
Up.
It's going to get around nicely.
Fine shot here from Tycho Spadero. Beauty.
Fully buried.
Yep. And this will be either or for that one. If you hit the blue one here, you're in business for
The one you
Team
really,
Nutmeg.
you really need to take the corner guard. That's
Yep.
the one you need to kill.
Right.
yeah, but if they hit the blue, they don't care. Just get that up.
Yes, yes! Hard! Hard! Hard!
And they took the guard. You got to throw another corner. You got to throw a corner over that stone. Splitting the house won't do it.
Needs 3, and I think he's playing for 2 if he's still I got nods. Yeah, you put it right up top. Yeah, you put it up. Kind of touch a little bit. Boy, it's heavy.
And it's going to hang around, I think.
I don't know.
There's still life. 2 on the rings.
Hoping for a flash. Flash in the pan.
Be nice to skip off.
Lawrence Bakari now with his first rock of the 10th end. Nutmeg in control of the game here, up 3. Got the double.
Just over the top.
Just over the top.
Got to get around the wide corner now.
No.
Yes.
There we go. And the crowd behind the glass nods in approval.
Everybody up here is an aficionado. I know the deal. I know the deal. I've been curling a long
First
time. I know
they
the deal.
groaned, then they all went, yeah.
Poor guy.
It was brutal back here behind the glass, folks.
We ought to get like cue cards up. Get like big cue cards. No, yes, corner, draw, freeze. Somebody threw away my brown bag that had the eye holes in it. I only use that for league nights. The unknown curler. If it's by, it's great.
Weight's really nice.
Nice shot. Very nice throw there from Chip Helm.
Yeah, the only thing that wasn't obvious
You got to hit the one you can see here.
that was a counter in the house.
Now, I think you start asking yourself, what could I have done to set this end up a little bit differently? And there was some things that Jim could have done to set the end up a little bit differently to give himself a better chance to get
Well,
through.
you need 2 corners.
Correct. Still hoping for misses,
Yep, you still need a miss.
but you
or-
have a chance
Right.
with the 2-corner system.
Right. You still need a half shot even with 2 corners.
Yep, and he's all over it. I think. Yeah, he's all over it. Kind of stuck there for a second, and then it started to curl. He's going to lose his shooter. Mission accomplished.
Now you stick another one around the corner.
Yep, right in between the blue one and the yellow one.
Yep. No,
Nope.
that's not going to do the trick. You got to go around that corner again. You got to create a miss.
Makes it harder to get rid of it, right? Although if you don't make it all the way down or you don't bury, you set up a double. Still, that's your best chances to get there.
Got room for a lot of rocks behind that corner.
Absolutely.
You would split, Ann? You split? Just because they're getting down on stones? Yeah, they could double.
This one, they're gonna get the
You
other
still
one.
need 3 though.
Either gonna go way outside and hope they miss.
And this one looks heavy.
He's going through the rings.
It's not through. I don't know if it's through. Oh, it might be.
It's totally through.
It might be. It is.
Now they got to score their last 2 rocks. If you remove this corner guard, I think there's virtually no way to score 3.
Nick's a little worse.
So things getting late here for Team Albany. Might have left him a chance, though. He left him a chance. This is gone.
Threw a rocket.
Yeah. You want to be narrow and peel your own guard,
You
if
gotta
nothing
hit a
else
guard.
there.
Now you got to go around the corner.
I agree.
You got to go around it twice.
Not even thinking about it.
Heavy. Heavy. That's still falling. When did that go out? Oh, I had the wrong hand. All right, I'm going to go.
And that'll be the game. I think that'll
Game,
go
set,
right
and
through.
match right here for Nutmeg Curling Club. Slew foot him. Game. Congratulations to Nutmeg Curling Club. Mike Parker, Lawrence Bocari, Brian Tully, and Eric Sebastian are the Dykes champions. Roger, thanks for having me on the broadcast today.
And it's been great.
And
We do have one game still in play.
yep.
And we'll stay with you through the end of that game. In fact, we can probably give you a little look in on sheet 5.
I'm going to sign off on you here, Roger. I got tickets
Alrighty.
to the Comets game. I'm gonna pack it in. Enjoy the rest of
See
your
you
day,
later.
folks. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
One remaining game. And we'll carry you through to the end. This is sheet 5, Albany Weber, Potomac Osteen. Albany leads 10-8 in a wild one. No defense here.
No, Johnny, we won't be throwing any guards tonight.
Potomac is sitting 1, however, they trail by 2. This is our C Event Championship final. Draw path is available for Nutmeg, or excuse me, for Potomac. Playing the Blue Rocks here. They do have the hammer this end. Down to skip rocks, and we're having quite the discussion. This is Potomac's first skip rock. And Potomac just settled on a guard there. Two rocks left. Or excuse me, Albany settled on a guard. Potomac has two rocks left. It looks like the most logical scoring shot is going to be a raise on a blue stone. Or a come around. They come around their own blue stone into the 8-foot. Looking at coming down to the Albany stone in the back 8. Stones away. Yeah, it looks like it lost the handle. Lost the handle or picked on its way in. That shot will still be available. Plus, they also have a raise on their blue that they just went by. Albany's going to just guard up this side where Potomac just threw. But I think there will be something over there. Potomac will be able to come off their own stone that they just threw, draw down to the red stone and tap it back, or raise their blue corner guard. So there'll be at least 3 options for them. And I don't think a guard can cover all of them. It covered the in off, but it doesn't cover the draw. There's still a draw path down that line on the outturn side. to score a 2 here and get to an extra end. Last rock, 10th end. Potomac drawing for 2 to extend this to an extra end. Sweepers don't like the line. And this will be a little wide. So no dues for Potomac, so that'll be a win for Weber's Rink of Albany. They win 10-9 in a close one. In a wild game, actually. And they are your C event champions. So congratulations to all the teams making the finals this week, and congratulations to all the teams for curling in this Francis Dykes Bonspiel in 2017. Great job by all the teams. Special shout out to Doug Smith, who ran this spiel, and a first-time spiel organizer, and ran a great event. Hope you enjoyed our webcast. We were treated to some really thrilling games in this 2017 Francis Dykes Bonspiel, and we'll see you again soon, like next week for the U.S. Curling College Championships. I'm Roger Roulette, and we'll see you next time.